Hello and welcome to another update on the Starship VL client. This version has been upgraded to use Unity 5. The main difference you'll be able to see is that the new shader models within Unity 5 give us a much nicer reflection and light pattern, and we'll see this as we go around the ship. You can see that it is being lit currently by the light from an orange star. Each star in the game will have a different spectrum pattern and produce a different lighting effect. For the time being, this is our default one. So the ship is actually white, much like in Star Trek show, but the reflective light of the sun is giving it this orange highlight. As you can see as we scroll around to the other side of the ship, because there is nothing to reflect the light back on it, it is all in darkness with the exception of the internal lights, and you can see a lot of orange light coming through the decks and out the other side because a lot of these decks don't have any internal walls yet. Now, I swithered a lot as to whether to put artificial lighting in so that there was always some sort of lighting on the ship, but I came back to the idea of this whole simulation, which is going to be as close to the real physics as we can manage. And in that regards, unlike the TV show, the moment you go more than 0.1 of a light year away from a star, which is pretty much what 95% of space is, then there is really very little light, and the ship, like this, will be cast into darkness. So we're now going to turn the sun back on again and zoom in, and you can hopefully see here the higher detail pattern that the new shader model gives us on the actual hull of the ship. But like I said, most of the time the ship is going to be in darkness, so we'll turn it off and we'll step on board and have a look at the new shader model for the internal walls and the internal spotlights. What we've done here is given the floor, walls and ceiling a slight reflective quality to simulate a sort of a plastic finish, make it look a bit sci-fi. We've also populated this floor with random spotlights to show different areas of light and darkness and how the light interacts with lots of different variations. Obviously, as you're building your own ship, you'll be able to choose where these lights go and play around with them a bit and create different effects, and maybe even different coloured lights as well. For instance, during a red alert, all of the lights would change to a red hue and flash at a very low pulse. What we're going to do now is turn the sun back on, and hopefully you can see that adding the extra orange light now interplays nicely with the onboard lighting, creating this lovely sort of shadowed effect from the windows up onto the ceiling, obviously dependent on the angle of the sun shining into the ship itself. As we wander about the floor, you can see that it's still mostly empty because this is just a test ship. So what we're going to do is create some walls and quickly show you how we do that. These red and blue markers here are called snap points. We can create snap points anywhere on the deck, and we use them to tie in the walls and all the other areas of the ship together so that we don't end up with gaps between corners of walls. We select our 4 snap points, 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top, and click on create wall, and there we go, we have a new wall. We've now moved round to the other side of the wall, and we're now going to use those snap points to create another wall at right angles to it, like that. You can of course use the deck view that we've showed in other demos. In fact, this is probably a much easier way of building rooms that actually fit together nicely. And what we're going to do with this view here is move all the snap points so that we get a cleaner looking layout of the deck. As you can see, our shader is still working even in deck view, so we've got all the lighting shown. In fact, you can see lots of these lights around in the background there. So there you have it. the latest version of the client, we now have nicer materials inside and better shader models. And hopefully, and we've got points of light, and hopefully it's whetted your appetite a bit to see more. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.